Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Games Repository's daily pack openings. We're doing another journey into Nyx here, so let's crack this puppy open and see what we've got. Do we get a token? Do we get a token? No. No tokens. I sad. Okay, we're going to start off with a green Market Festival. That's a 4-drop enchantment in your Scry Land. When the Scry Land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 2 mana in any combination of colours to his or her mana pool. I think that's pretty beautiful. It's an expensive card, but if you're playing mana ramp, getting up to a 4 in green isn't going to take you very long at all. Stick it into an elf deck, and that's really going to help you just kind of go from 0 to 60 mana cost in very, very short time. Then we've got Ajani's Presence, which is a 1-drop white instant with the Strive. That's the multicast ability. Any number of target creatures each gets +1/+1 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So very useful kind of overrun-ish type ability. You can really swing in or save it for a defense ability later on. Then we have Deathbringer Lampeds, which is a 5-drop black enchantment creature for 2. Constellation. Whenever another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains Intimidate until end of turn. So you can really use that to push forward some of your attackers. Quite expensive for a 4/2. Maybe not the most useful of cards. Could be quite good in a draft though. Then we've got Harvest Guard Alseid, which is a 3-drop white 2/3 creature with Constellation again. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. So another attacking ability with enchantments. If you could flash it, it would be very handy. You'll flash your enchantments. Very useful indeed. Then we got Thrasher's Devour, which is a 5-drop blue 2/6 creature. Nice little blocker with the Constellation ability. Again, that's whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Nice little mill. And with draft, of course, you're looking at roughly a 40-card draft deck. So mill can be quite powerful if you get enough mill cards in there. Very expensive creature though, but a good blocker. 2/6. Then we've got classic Blade Tusk Boar, which is a 4-drop red 3/2 with Intimidate. Fairly useful. Might be a bit expensive for the 3/2, but you've definitely got your Intimidate there if you're looking for creatures to buff up your drafting. Then we have a Warwing Siren, which is a 3-drop blue 1/3 with flying, and it has Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So early game could be quite handy. Flying 1/3 blocker. But also, don't forget, if you're buffing it up, then you are really going to buff it up because you also get a +1/+1 counter every time you target it. Could be quite a handy card to fly over and get some kill strikes with. Then we've got Lightning Daedon, which is a 6-drop red enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and enchanted creature gets +2/+2. So for a 6-drop, you're getting lightning, 2 direct damage, and then you're buffing your creature +2/+2. If you then put that onto the War Siren that we've just seen, that would then give it another 3. So you're buffing that up to a 4/5 with flying, and you've already done 2 direct damage. Could be quite handy. It's not an instant though. It is an enchantment. Wouldn't last forever possibly, and you've got to play it on your turn. Could be more handy as an instant or with a less cost. Then we've got Triton the Shorestalker, which is the 1-drop 1/1 blue undrop unblockable creature. These are pretty much a mainstay in blue decks, and it's a Merfolk. So if you put this into a Merfolk deck, it would sit quite happily and quite useful when drafted as well. Right, we have now got a Nyx Weaver, which is a 3-drop black and green creature. So that's 1 colourless, 1 black, 1 green. 2/3 spider enchantment. It has reach, and at the beginning of your upkeep, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, and then later on you can pay 3 mana and exile it, return target card from your graveyard into your hand. So it would be quite useful in, say, a Splinter deck where you need to chuck cards into your library to buff up creatures that you want, and then later on, if you've put something in that you want back, There you go. You can get it back for a 3 mana cost. It doesn't play it onto the battlefield, which would be a nice little turn, but it could be quite handy. It has its place if you were designing decks around it or had a deck specifically for it. Then we have Knowledge and Power, which is a 5-drop red enchantment. Whenever you scry, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, Knowledge and Power deals 2 damage to target creature or player. It's quite handy if you're playing a lot of scrying cards. It's a high mana cost, but you got that constant 2 damage for 2 mana once you get it out. I don't know. I'm not sold on this card. If I saw it in play, someone was using it quite happily, then yeah, I think I would think differently about that. Then we have Reprisal, which is a 2-drop white instant. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. This is a lovely removal to get rid of some of your opponent's bombs. It's an instant. You can play it on their turn. It really messes with someone's head if you really wanted to. I think that is a very, very useful card and probably my favourite out of the deck so far. Then we've got a rare, which is Dictate of Crux, which is a 3-drop double blue enchantment. It has flash, and at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Very handy if you're playing mill. You can help get down your opponent's deck. It's also very handy if you need to get some extra draw in blue, and also if you're scrying, you can play that up as well, and it's got a flash ability, so you can play that at the end of your opponent's turn in response and pieces like that. That's a very nice card. I think we've had some very good pulls out of this deck, and it looks like we have an extra foil card, which is an extra rare, double rare deck. You can't argue with that. So this is a 3-drop double red sorcery with Strive. That's the multicast ability. And that's gain control of any number of target creatures until end of turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. That could be a very, very good game winner. I think if you're playing red and you don't put that in your deck, that might be a very, very silly choice. Also, we've got it in a lovely, lovely foil. That is a very beautiful card. I like that very much. We've had a lovely pack opening today. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget we've got lots of other videos on our channel. Bye guys.